ear. Even my ear is broken. Ear. My ear is a little bit broken. And I thought we were going to get on here and do a collective and tap in. And then I just received a few packages for us, from us, for the LiveMas, for the wish list. And it's actually 4 decks. And so I'm like, is that a sign? I don't know, but I'm going to let a few more people come in. And I'm going to hope that these comments come up on the screen. I feel like shit, like royal shit, which is why I've been MIA. There's a big part of me that's like, you don't need to explain, because the OGs know, like they get it. This is you disappearing for 2 or 3 days. It's a very uncommon occurrence. So like I know that for the most part, y'all know if I was MIA, something was going on. But like I still feel it in my soul to like, I'm sorry. Yo, it's just not normal. It's not normal. And I low key, I feel like what's going on? Am I getting older and I'm getting like weak? Because you know how many times I've been on here sick as fuck with y'all? You know how many times I've been on here? Like I literally was on here with y'all when I lost my brother. Like if I could do that, in my mind, I feel like there's no excuses. Like I should just, if I said I was gonna be here, I should just be here. That's how I see it. But then I think about it and I'm like, to be fair, it's been brick ass. Like I'm literally in a jacket again, you know? And normally we be on together, but we'll be like in the car and shit. So like it be freezing outside, but we technically don't be outside. Which could explain why, whether I was sick or not, I still was getting on live. So like I'm trying to give myself grace here, but like low key, I'm beating myself up about the fact that I've been gone for the last few days. Either way, I have not forgotten about LiveMas. I was just recording, right? Just now for the vlog, because like I said, right after I set the stream for the live, I ended up getting some packages for our wish list. And it's funny because I was explaining to the vlog how over on the vlog channel, they don't see a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like for them, I never went MIA for them in the last few days because the content is batched. It's vlogs. You feel me? But like here, where we're doing live streaming, you guys feel the difference. Like you guys have, you know that I've been MIA for the last like 3 days. So I was just talking about that in the video, and I was thinking to myself, like, damn, that's crazy. Like how different shit is perceived depending on what you're doing on social media, like what kind of content you're creating and shit, you know? Long story short, oh, are we on? We're on. Hi, Angel Vibes. Hi, Corinne. Hi, Shayna. I figured you were sick. Girl, I don't even feel like sick. I feel like beyond sick. Not for nothing. Like if like I low key, I've been in the back of my head like this can't be life. Like there's no way I haven't been sick in a minute, but I think this is taking me down. And I think that it's like because I've been gone from work and from like social media and all this stuff. I think that's the part that got me like, there's no way I can afford to like fucking take a few more days off. I think that's what's going on in my head. I think that's what it is. Hi, chosen one. Happy to see you fitted a little bit. Un poquito. It's crazy because I think in the last live that we did, oh no, Jesus, there's gonna be a lot of that in this reading. I just know it. But in the last live that we did, I was so out of it, but like it wasn't because I was sick. I mean, I guess because it was that night that I kind of was like, yeah, you know. But I was so done. Like my energy was, I was like over it, over the cards, over it, over it, over it. I was over it. I was over all of it. And then that night, I was just on my ass. So I don't know. My girl Stacy would say, my girl Stacy was watching. She would be like, "Girl, this is ascension symptoms," and I low key feel like she might be right. So I don't know if it's that or like what's going on. Either way, on top of it, I know it's about to be TMI, but like, listen, we family here, and in this club, on this platform, we all fam, right? That's the same. All right. So like, on top of the fact that I got sick, it was then my time of the month. So I was like, there's no way. There's no way you hitting me with two demons at once. Not a fucking head cold, because I'm pretty sure that's what I got, like a head cold and my fucking time of the month at the same time. Like my time of the month alone be having me on my ass. The pains, like give me childbirth. Give me childbirth instead of the PMS shit that I'll be going through every month. Please. So, and then my back was a little bit like starting its shit. I mean, it didn't get as bad as it could have been, thank God. But like I was feeling it, especially that first day. My life been in shambles for the last 3 days. That's what I'm taking the last 10 minutes to talk about. My back when I get sick, double up on all my hack. Oh, I said my back. Because I'm talking about my back. My hack when I get sick is double up on all vitamins and drink a lot of pineapple juice. You know what's we here, Bookie. We here. Because I just was like on Google on my Kermit the Frog shit, like juicer. Like what's the vibes with juicers? I was just talking about this literally yesterday. So like it's funny that you said that pineapple juice. That's my favorite. And I was looking at like some recipes of like pineapple with celery and I think apple. I was looking at that. Hi Liv. That's funny that you said that. Cause now I'm like, that's a sign. There's no way you could have known I was looking that shit up yesterday. That's the worst. I'm glad you're doing better. Thank you, darling. So another thing, right? We got these decks, brand new. Look, yo, when I tell you brand new, spanking new, I haven't even opened. I think I opened 2 of them, right? I opened this one. I actually did what did I do? I did a reading. I did a reading this morning using this one because I got this one yesterday. For the members, you guys will see that in the next few weeks here on the channel. And then I opened this one. This is What's the Vibe. This is an oracle. And then I opened this one, Family or Tarot Familiars, but it's cats. If I put this on the wish list, which I'm pretty sure I did if somebody sent it, if I put this on the wish list, I didn't even realize that I put it on the wish list. Because when I opened this, I was like, "Oh my God, cats!" You know, like if I didn't put it in the wish list, whatever. I opened this one because I was like shuffling this up because I was curious to see what it looked like. I just opened this, so I didn't even do any readings with any of these. I just did a reading with this one. So now the thing is, right? The reason why I'm telling y'all this is because do I explain everything? I explain everything. So my problem is I'm an overachiever, right? And because I haven't been delivering, the way that my mind is set up today, I already am like, I'm going to do a live right now, like during the daytime, and I'm going live again in the nighttime. This is not unheard of for my platform. The OGs know I've done 2 and 3 lives a day, especially when we was like on the move and shit like that, when I was like mobile, driving around and doing different shit. Whenever I had an hour in between time, we were live. So like going live twice in one day isn't unheard of for me. But in my mind, I'm telling myself, we're going to do a reading And then we're going to come back tonight and I'm going to kick it. Because I'm going to try to kick it with the morning crew and the evening crew. Because I've been gone for 3 days. It's not okay. So all of that to say this. I literally about to come live and I get these decks in the mail today. And I'm like, should we do elements? Should I just tap in? I kind of want to tap in with them like random, like as I shuffle, just to get like a few messages from each of the decks, just to get a feel for them. And then come back tonight and we'll do like elements or something. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I guess I needed to be on here with my peoples having this discussion, even though I didn't even ask y'all, but I'm still like, I got the congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, darling. That shit got me so hyped right now. First of all, we kind of got that message about somebody starting a new job. I feel like we got that message like last week. Also, the members should have gotten at least 2 or 3 readings today. That honestly, I did them like last week and I dead ass thought that I cleared them for the members and I never did. I noticed it last night that I never cleared them. So today the members should have definitely gotten a few readings. And there's going to be some changes come January on the platform. So I'm going to be talking to the members about that first. And then you guys will eventually see the changes here on the platform. What time tonight? I'm thinking after 9:30, definitely. So like 10, 11-ish, like for the late night crew. Pineapple helps with the cough as well. Add some ginger and turmeric. My sister was just on the phone like, did you take some ginger? I was like, no, bitch, of course I didn't. We literally were just on the phone having this conversation. I'll be at work till 11:30, so I might miss tonight. We might be on for that time, girl. We might be on for that time because the way my rest of my day is looking, because I actually have to go run some errands still, which is crazy because it's 4:00 right now. But like, this is what it is. So usually, I know who sends me or who sends us the decks from the wish list, but when I got the packages, they were already opened. So I have to wait till later to get the paper because usually a little slip comes in the package and it'll tell you like who it's from. So I know the one from yesterday that I got yesterday was from our girl Laura. Shout out to my girl Laura. So I'm not entirely sure who these came from, but again, shout out to the collective. You guys are the fucking real OGs. This wish list thing isn't even something that this year especially I was not even going to do the wish list, but mostly every year since we started doing this LiveMas, I always struggle with doing the wish list, and you guys always tell me like, please just do it. So shout out to all of y'all. Yeah, I'm like still thinking what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull a few cards from each and every one of these decks just so we could get like a little bit of a vibe going. So we're not gonna be on here for too long, I don't think. You already know every time I say that. But we're just gonna post some random messages, and then if anything tonight, I mean, listen, I'm not even gonna say too much about tonight because we'll see how I feel tonight. Whether we're gonna do elements or collective or whatever. We'll see. Either way, we're gonna be live again tonight. Elderberry tea helps with the throat and the cough as well. I never heard of that. I'd be lying if I told you I even knew what that was. It's a fruit? Elderberry. The way my nose is fucked up. Fucking travesty. All right, so we have the What's the Vibe. This is an Oracle deck. I told you guys already, right? I did a reading with this one already for the members. I have the Akashic. It's another oracle deck. And then I have the Woodland Wardens, which is tarot. This is giving me heavy Spirit Song Tarot, which is the deck that I usually pull out for the springtime, or like in March, like right before the equinox. I usually pull that deck out, which I'm looking now and I'm like, where is it? It's here somewhere. Hold on. This one. I don't know why, but it's very much, is it the same person? Imagine. No, it's not. I don't know why, but this one is giving me heavy spring vibes. So I'm gonna leave that deck at the top, because now I'm kind of feeling like maybe not putting them together, but doing a reading with them together. We'll look at that another time. Like I told you guys, we have this one, the Tarot Familiars, which is the cats, and then we have a Neon Tarot, which looks pretty dope. So I'm gonna start here with the mooshes, of course. Y'all should already know, or should have already known. I'm gonna shuffle this up as good as possible. So we're just gonna pull random messages, and I'm definitely going to. Oh, these are fire. I'm gonna be looking at the chat and just kicking it with y'all while we shuffle these up. So these are the bonus cards. We're obviously not gonna be using these, right? And the book, we're gonna push that to the side again, really quick. We're gonna be live again tonight, just in case anybody misses it. You feel me? Elderberry. Yes, elderberry is amazing. I have like hundreds of decks. That I never use anymore. I would like to send some to you. That's so fire. You know, it's funny because reduce, reuse, recycle. I was just saying this because I have some decks like from a few years back that we don't really use too much. They're in perfect condition. They're great. It's just we just haven't been using them. And so instead of them sitting back collecting dust, I actually have them already sectioned out. I'm going to start out with the OGs, mainly the people who were on the Patreon from like last March, which is why I keep beasting with y'all to make sure y'all send me y'all information in the emails. I'm not sure. I should have my email address linked in the bio, but that's why, because I'm going to be sending you guys some of our OG decks that we haven't really been using. So we're going to be reduce, reuse, and recycling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to just sit there and catch dust. And they were great for us. They helped us a lot along the way. And I just feel like giving forward. You feel me? So that's super dope. That's like the third thing that someone today said in the chat that I already was like either already like thinking about or talking about or something. I'm at work. Darling, what's tonight? Tonight is we broke up to make up night. That's tonight. Listen, I feel mad guilty that I've been off and not for nothing. I think tonight I'm gonna be coming in with some downloads because I don't have the book with me right now. It's inside and I don't feel like running in. I know it's the middle of the day, so a lot of you guys are at work, but I have a book with some downloads for the last few days. And so I think tonight is probably going to give the vibe of like our old school readings, where I'm probably going to come in with some downloads and then we'll just pull cards randomly. I think that's what tonight's vibe is going to be. I've been waiting for you. We're going to have problems over here. Yo, I love you. I'm sorry. I keep flipping cards like they're going to tell me a different outcome. It ain't happening, girl. I mean, hold on. Ace of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Ace of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. And I said this was a cat deck. There's a crow on the Ace of Swords. Hold on. I guess it's just random. Oh, yeah, random animals because it has an owl, a wolf. Okay. Oh, Temperance has a unicorn. That's fire. Okay. So it just has a cat on this card, which this might be like the Magician or something. We'll see as we go along. Either way. Ace of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. This deja vu shit has been so heavy lately because this feels to me like there's about to be some type of clarity over something that you feel like you haven't gotten your reparations for, or you feel like something that you haven't gotten your just dues on, something that you put a lot of energy into, whether it's a relationship, a job, whatever. It just feels like there's a lot that was brought in, a lot that you brought in, a lot that happened. Something may have transpired over the span of like 7 years. It's 7 Pentacles. But it's the Ace of Swords. And so the Ace of Swords is super dope because it's clarity. For some of us, this clarity is going to be hard to hear. For others of us, it's just going to be clarity. Like it doesn't feel bad or good. It's just, oh shit, okay, got you. That's the energy, you know? Most of mine look brand new. Yeah, Angel, I got a lot of, did it fall? No, it's right here. I have a lot of decks. A lot of decks. Okay. So I'm talking about, I got well over 20 decks that I want to send out. And my intention was always to do it for January because I knew I was going to have like an influx, right? For December, especially just with the LiveMas alone, but also the fact that I'm doing the Vlogmas on the other channel too. So I was like, for the month of January, I'm going to start sending them out. But there's one thing though, is that some of the decks, we've used all the decks on this platform at some point or another, right? Some of the decks that I'm going to be sending out, I'm looking this way because I'm looking at them. I literally have a whole shelf system for them. And I literally put little Post-its on the decks for who they're going to. So I already know who's getting most of the decks. And some people are going to get multiple decks because I either had like an important reading with someone with that deck, or like someone could have had like a really close tie to this deck or that deck. Like in my head, I already know like where most of them are going. But I'm not even done. Like there's still more decks that I have. I only right now have like 20 that I know for sure where they're going. But there's other decks that I need to find where I'm sending them to. So again, in my description box, my email should definitely be there. It's the same email that I've always had for the tarot channel. It's X like X-ray 1981 O like orphan at iCloud.com. It takes me a while to look through all of them, but I just need to make sure that come January when I'm starting to send them out, I have everyone's information correct. So I have the Emperor and Death. The Emperor and Death. I think that with this understanding, it's going to make a transition easier than what someone was anticipating. Because on the Death card, did I show you guys the Death card? On the Death card, the cat that's on the Death card is literally holding an hourglass. It's not in the upright. It's like the cat is kind of like has it tilted. It's like something is in the midst of happening. But it's interesting because they're showing me like the hourglass being turned, and like in the midst of it being turned, it's almost like someone is having that realization of, oh, okay. Like it's crazy shit is happening all around me, but oh shit, I get it. That Ace of Swords is, oh, okay, all right. Which I think, honestly, whether I'm talking to a man or a woman, female, male, whatever, what this looked hard, right? It looked like it was gonna be difficult. It may have felt like it was gonna be really difficult to process, to go through, to get to the other side of. But I think that there's an understanding now And it makes the process easier because for some reason with this emperor is giving me either that or someone's making it look easy, because it just feels like, oh, all right. Like once it makes sense to someone why something is happening, the fact that it's happening doesn't affect them. And I kind of want to say it doesn't affect them too much, but spirit is like, no, you're right. It doesn't affect them. Which brings me back to something that I always said this. If it doesn't affect me, like here, right? Or like here, my pockets, then it don't affect me here. You know what I mean? Like if it's not about my kid, if it's not about my dad, if it's not about my brothers, I don't give a fuck. It don't affect me. Feel me? Feel me? So I feel like with the emperor, I don't know if other people are looking at this person as an emperor because of they make it look so easy, right? Or if this person is in the emperor position because someone is very clear, which is interesting. The only water that I have on the table is the death card, right? It's a transformation itself. I have swords, which is this, and pentacles, which is like time. It's logical. When someone is able to make sense of something, it's easy for them to let go. Period. That's the message. I don't want to go too much into detail. 8 of Swords. It's easy for them to make sense. This is a 9 of Swords. This is 8, but with the ace, there's a 9 of Swords here. Somebody, because something didn't make sense, because someone didn't have the Ace of Swords, I think that someone was in a really fucked up space. I think that someone was in a really dark funk. Yeah. Yeah. I think, but again, once this makes sense to someone, once there's an understanding of this is why it's happening, or this is why it has to happen, someone is more, I feel like it's clear and concise. It's like, I can't explain that. I can't explain why. And I think this is for someone. Wow, the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom. This is who, if this resonates, right? Because for someone, you're wondering why the fuck this doesn't affect me the way that because it affected me for like so much for so long. Why does it no longer affect me? Well, because now that it makes sense to you, it's logic. There's logic here. Because it makes logical sense, it's not difficult to let go of something or to allow something to transform, to allow something to shift. Period. I got the Ace of Swords upright and reversed. Girl. The frustration. Getting the Ace of Swords both ways, especially in the same reading, I would look at that like, I would look at it like I already know the truth about something, but the fact that I'm still asking about it implies that I'm not okay with it, or implies that I'm not accepting of it, if that makes sense. Like I know the truth about it, but low key, there's a way that I'm in some type of way, I'm still lying to myself about it, or something like that. All right. Let's tap in with the Neo really quickly. The neon, like I said, these are brand new, so I'm just opening them right now with y'all. Oh, these are fire. Look at that. Can you guys see how it's like a hologram? That's dope. I ain't got no scissors with me or nothing. Or nothing. Hi, Miss Redmond. Hi, Starla. Oh, these are fire. It's like the same thing with books. I feel the same way with cards, like brand new cards. There's something about brand new cards that does it for me. I don't know. These are pretty fire. Ooh, 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. These are really dope. Ooh, the Empress. Didn't we just see the Emperor? Okay, 5 of Cups, the Empress, and the High Priestess. This is wild emotional. Like, it's mad emotional. Like, I don't even know how much more emotion you got to give to something, girl. Ooh, 5 of Wands, a lot. And the 4 of Wands, which is a 9 of Wands, which is more fighting. Listen, you know the saying, it ain't over till the fat lady sings? The fat lady ain't sung yet. Because there's somebody who's telling me that something is so important to them. They've lost something that's so important to them, and they're never going to stop fighting. They're never going to stop fighting. Someone, if this is like in the most like surface level, this message is something along the lines of like something being done to you, and you took it like it feels like a personal something. It feels personal, right? It feels like I'm never going to be over it, and I'm never going to look past it. That's the feeling that I'm getting. 5 of Cups, the Empress, the High Priestess, the 4 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands, which is the 9 of Wands, which is the wounded warrior. This is fighting, fighting, fighting. Like, I'm never going to let you sit in my face and play with me again. I'm never going to let you lie on me. I'm never going to let you lie to me. I'm never going to allow that thing again. This is very adamant energy too, especially the High Priestess energy is very much giving me like, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Like, I'm not, there's no negotiating this, period. Period. There's no negotiating this. There's none of that. I don't care how long we've been together. I don't care how long it's been going on. I don't care. I don't care how long the contract is. Like, I don't care that we family. I don't give a fuck. Like, first of all, it feels like an important connection, or at some point this was an important connection because of the 4 of Wands is here. Whether this is romantic or not, it's gonna, be different for everyone. If you've been with me for long enough, the 4 of Wands to me personally is almost never a romantic connection. I usually look at a 4 of Wands as like a personal thing. So like for me, the 4 of Wands speaks of like my sacred feminine, my sacred masculine energies, my own. So when I see a 4 of Wands with a 5 of Wands, which is essentially a 9 of Wands situation, the wounded warrior, that tells me that someone is internally going through this battle. This is someone who's trying to, like, my sacred, I'm gonna use myself, I'm gonna put myself out there, right? I'm gonna use myself as an example for the reading because I feel like it's imperative, because it could play out surface level, like, oh, my boyfriend, my karmic, my this, my that, right? Cool. But not really, because on this platform, it's personal development is the highlight. So for me, the way I look at this, 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 9 of Wands, with the 5 of Cups, High Priestess, and the Empress, this is someone telling me, I'm never going to forgive you. I'm never going to forgive you the way you abandoned me. And this is someone's sacred feminine talking to their sacred masculine energy, their own energy. This is like when everybody said it wasn't safe to do this, right? You knew that I was still going to rock on this, and you left me too. You abandoned me the way everybody else abandoned me. You were blind to the things that you needed to be protecting me from. And then when it was time, because it almost feels like, if this is 2 different people, this is definitely there's definitely, because they show me the finger. So this is definitely someone who's like, yo, this is in your court. There's no, someone else didn't do this. This is you. Like, this is somebody, either you're telling this to someone or someone's saying it to you. Again, for me, the reader, the way I'm looking at this is like, my inner feminine is telling my inner masculine, you left me alone with these morons. You left me to fend for myself with these people that didn't know their ass from their elbow. Like I was supposed to be protected and I was abandoned. I'm never going to forget that. And then when it was time for you to come back and to get your little wounds licked, me in my divine feminine energy, that was my job to act and forgive and act like turn that blind eye, right? And act like you didn't affect me more than anyone else external to me affected me. So my divine, my sacred feminine energy is like, so I had to always be the bigger person for the way my ego reacted, for the way my shadow responded. Like someone is really battling with their own inner shit. I feel that heavily. I feel it heavily because with the Five of Cups, there's a lot of regret here too that's playing out. Like a lot of it. Like someone's almost regretting how nice they were to someone, or how much slack they cut for someone, or how much energy they've allowed themselves to, they're telling me, waste on someone. The thing is that the someone for a lot of us is us. It's us, because even if we're looking at this as like a romantic connection, before you attracted that karmic, before you entertained the karmic, before you were affected by the karmic, the divine masculine energy in you had to have failed you. That's the thought that someone's going into this with. It's like, yeah, what they did to me was fucked up, but nobody fucked me over more than you fucked me over, because you were supposed to have my back. This could be a married couple. I know the Four of Wands sometimes is marriage, but as I said that sentence, it could definitely be a married couple, because there's this feeling of like, we're supposed to be a team. Fuck them. Like they affected me briefly, right? And in the lightest way ever. But like the only reason why they affected me was because there wasn't, you didn't, that smoke screen that you were supposed to provide, you failed me there. So yeah, what they did affected me because I didn't have no one protecting me. Does that make sense? Because I feel the way that I'm feeling this, first of all, this feels really, first of all, it feels really sad. Number one. Number two, it feels, I want to say, whoever this person is has been blamed, because again, they're showing me the finger. It's almost like, you were blamed for something that happened to you, which is fucked up. It sounds fucked up to even say that, but essentially that's the feeling that I'm getting. Like I'm in the Nine of Wands, right? And rightfully so, but other people are looking at you like you're the problem. You're the issue. You're the one that dropped the ball. But no one's looking at why I'm in this Nine of Wands. I shouldn't be in this Nine of Wands had I had someone protecting me, but I didn't. And also the fact, I keep saying it's the divine masculine that let someone down, whether it's a person or the divine masculine in someone, because if you look at the card, the divine feminine is lit up, but the divine masculine, the male image in this card, you can't really see him unless you kind of like move the card. He's more in the shadows. And so just intuitively, the way that it comes off is like, because even she has her hand like on his shoulder, what's supposed to be his shoulder, but he's not even, you can't even see his shoulder. So it's almost like someone was left dancing by themselves. The whole point here, right, is that and I don't, it's funny because I'm like, so what would be the solution to this? Because the whole point here is that someone is adamant. It's, you did this. You caused this. Because you dropped the ball, this is what's happening. Like if I gotta be accountable and responsible for my part here, how I'm wilding the fuck out, again, Nine of Wands, cool. But like we're not gonna forget the part where you dropped the ball, which in turn has me like this. I shouldn't need, I'm the divine feminine. It's the Empress on the table and the High Priestess. I should not be in this position. This right here should be this, the Nine of Wands energy. The Nine of Wands energy should be, it's a whole different element. First of all, it shouldn't even be in the same sentence as an Empress or a High Priestess, if you want to be fair. So for divine feminine saying like, I've had to be like this, like, all right, let's talk about the fact that I'm like this, but we're not going to negate the fact that I'm like this because of something that you fumbled, Because with the finger, they keep telling me like, no, you have to be accountable for this shit. Okay. So these cards are dangerous. Because I said in the beginning, I said we're going to pull a few cards from each one of the decks just to get a feel for them. This deck specifically, this one's a little bit scary. I don't know. Because the way that that message came out was like, this one's a little bit scary. And not like in a spooky way, but in like a holy shit, this is accurate and direct. Seven of Swords. So, ooh. With the Ace of Swords, which is an 8 of Swords. Somebody's like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's put it all out there. Let's really talk about it. We're not going to dance around this. We're not going to kind of gloss over. Like, let's talk about it in real life. If we're going to bring this up, let's talk about the whole thing, right? If this is going to get discussed, let's make sure we have the whole thing out on the table. It's the Empress with the Ace of Swords. I've been saying for the last few weeks, and Three of Cups is here. Like I was just going to say, I've been saying for the last few weeks, other people may be having a lot to say. And it's the energy like pertaining to you, collective. And it's the energy of you're using and utilizing lies to try to paint the narrative in regard to me. But when I start to speak the truth in regard to you, let's remember that we didn't both play fair. Like you're spitting lies in order to make some type of narrative toward me. All I got to do is start saying the truth before shit starts to get serious here. But it's the Empress with the Ace of Swords. The Three of Cups with the Four of Cups. There's a Seven of Cups. The Empress may not have been sure. Oh, so the Empress may have been quiet for a little while. Did I show you guys the Four? The Empress may have been quiet for a while, but it's not because she was weak. I think that's too, because we saw the Seven of Swords, right? So it's this energy of like someone lied on the Empress, and because the Empress didn't react right away, I think someone thought, oh, I could step all over this bitch. She don't got a backbone. I don't think it's that she didn't have a backbone. Wheel of Fortune with the Three of Cups. I think she was waiting for the right time. She was waiting to get clear on what she felt toward the situation, get her facts straight, get clear on who's the one yapping, who's the one starting. You know what I'm saying? Like she wanted to get clear before she, because it's the energy of like someone talking for 3 hours, spazzing out, got their fucking veins popping out, foaming at the mouth, going in, going in, going in. And the Empress is just saying like one word and everything gets shut down. It's the energy like that because it's the truth. The truth, it don't matter how many lies you tell. The lies up against the truth, there's no comparison. There's no competition. There's nothing to debate. You feel me? So. Let's get a few more cards from the Woodland Wardens. Like I said, I just want to kind of tap in with a few cards from each of the decks. Anticipation. The Quail and Gooseberry. Anticipation. This is the book. We're not going to be using that. Oh, yeah. I said this deck is giving me the spirit song. Even the feel of the cards, it feels like that deck, which is crazy because how would I even have known that is wild. So we definitely going to be using them together at some point. The finish on these though, immaculate, darling, immaculate. Dreams. Leadership, the bear. Let's see what this is about. It's about a lot because both times the cards were going to fall out, it was going to be piles, little piles. Preparation, independence, and anticipation. Again, this was the card that originally we saw. Leadership. Somebody is anticipating doing something on their own. Preparation, independence, and again, anticipation with leadership. Someone is gearing up to get something done or to do something on their own. This may be something that you initially planned on doing this with someone else, or the plan was to, this was like a job that you were going to do with someone. You created, you cultivated this job, this business with someone. You had the idea, you and someone else created this. You were going to move with someone, like there was whether this is romantic, platonic, you already know the deal, but this is something that you originally were going to do and see through with someone else. I feel like now you're gearing up to do it on your own, whether this is an amicable split, right? Because it does feel like I'm like pulling myself away from something. Preparation. Somebody's preparing to do something on their own. Somebody could be moving out of their home, like moving. This could be somebody who's young too, like leaving home for the first time. This feels like at work. Somebody's preparing to do something in regard to like financial. Like somebody's preparing to be in charge of other people. Leadership. You don't just lead air. Like you're leading by example. You're leading the team, you're leading the family, you're leading something. The fact that we have anticipation and preparation, I feel like this is something that's planned out. Wow. Overcoming obstacles and stagnation. But so this kind of, someone may have been very still. Ooh, leadership is the bear hibernating, which is interesting because I was talking about using this deck with the Spirit Song Tarot, which that deck I usually, if I've ever used that deck in the winter, it's like maybe once, if I've ever, because off the top of my head, I don't recall ever using that deck other than in the spring or summer. And usually I pull that deck out, this one, in March for the equinox. That's usually when, in the last, not 5 years yet, because this is my 5th year on this platform, but in the last 4 years, 4.5 years, that week of the equinox is when I start using this deck. Every year, sin falta. And the fact that I, from the beginning, before I even took this deck out of the box, I was comparing it to this one. And then when I crack the box open, even the cards feel like this deck. And they're not made by the same person. Hibernation. The bear hibernates in the winter. Somebody has been quiet. So when we see stagnation, right, which is right here, it almost comes off as like I'm not dead. I just been resting. Like I'm not handicapped. I'm not fucking unable. I'm not impaired. In fact, something might actually catapult when the bear wakes up. The finch talks about romance. Someone could be overcoming obstacles romantically. I don't know if this is a couple, like a romantic couple, or if this is just speaking of one person in regard to romance specifically. But there's an energy here of not sleeping on yourself, but kind of like pulling your energy back, especially from anything romantic. It feels like someone needed to rest. It feels like someone needed to prepare themselves. Again, preparation, anticipation, independence. It's like someone needed to do something on their own before they embark on something together. So when I was saying the separation energy, someone's the polarity of someone separating themselves from something is someone preparing themselves individually to be part of something, if that makes sense. 444 on the clock. Deceit and an ending, and they flipped out together. Deceit and an ending. So this is the ending of a bad time, of a negative era, a negative position, a negative transition. Like things really were hard, things really were difficult, things really weren't pretty. Like it's not giving. Deceit and an ending. And then a new opportunity with the rabbit, which essentially is spring. You start to see rabbits again in the spring. I don't know what's going on now. I don't know what's in the wind. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know. But I've been saying for weeks, 4 weeks, the way that March, April energy has been making itself very known and very felt for me has been really interesting. A really interesting thing to dive into, the energy, because I can't even necessarily feel it too much, but it's there. It's there. We have hope and devotion. I got something in my eye. There's a change that someone is, again, anticipating, preparing for. You may not be speaking about it. You may not be talking too much about it. Someone may very well have their head down, working on something. But I think that come this new year, because I know the new year is supposed to be January, but for us, for the spiritual team here, our new year is for the equinox. It's in March, according to the calendar. According to the calendar. What is this? Patience. The one card flipped face down. Upheaval, which gives me tower energy. Somebody has to have patience because something may look like a mess right now, or something may not look like it's in alignment right now. But the upheaval is necessary, a lot like the tower. Intelligence, trust yourself. Healing wounds, trust yourself to have the healing capacity. Intelligence and healing is interesting to put together for me, especially inspiration and then intuition. This is trusting yourself, collective. Trusting yourself to be able to put forward the healing energy. This is in the reverse. What is this? Determination. I think somebody is in this energy. It's in the reverse. So this is someone who doesn't or didn't feel determined. This is someone who's maybe has even felt defeated. But the message is blatant for someone to have patience. I have a few cards here that fell that I didn't even realize. They fell face down, but they fell up here, which is interesting. It's in the reverse. Preparation. Someone doesn't feel prepared. What was this card again? Determination in the reverse. Preparation in the reverse. Luck in the reverse, and productivity in the reverse. Somebody currently or is just recently out of this energy where they didn't feel determined, they didn't feel prepared, they didn't feel like luck was on their side. Someone may have felt like they weren't being very productive. We saw the bear. The bear hibernates. The bear is inactive. Oh, this is a direct message. I felt it in my chesticle. Because I was just on here for the first like 10 minutes of this live telling y'all how I was off for 3 days, not doing any lives, and I felt like shit. Like physically felt sick, but then internally I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like, why like I said I was gonna do this. I need to do this. But I don't, with the bear, it's like you may not be doing any actual work, but that doesn't mean you're not being productive, because resting and being patient and taking care of yourself, healing yourself, all of those things is the most productive thing you can be doing. So it may not feel like you're being productive as a bear hibernating, but essentially it's needed. You need to hibernate. If not, you're going to be fucked the whole masculine season, right? Because divine feminine season is winter and fall. Divine masculine season is spring and summer. And if we're talking about the bear, which that's the card that we first saw, the bear hibernates during the divine feminine season and is out and about during divine masculine season. Someone may feel out of it in this cold weather, this winter weather. Someone may be suffering from like seasonal depression even. But the energy here is the message here, more importantly, is that there's a need for this. This is necessary. This isn't you being wisdom with the owl. This isn't you being unproductive, romance and wisdom. This isn't this isn't that someone's not being productive. If anything, this is someone doing the difficult work. This work doesn't come with reparations. This work doesn't come with like people noticing. This work doesn't come with I don't even know the word left from my head, but you know, when you do something good and other people are like, oh shit, good job, oh shit, that's dope, oh shit, like you can see it, you know, like this internal work it doesn't get the accolades that it deserves. And that's fine. It's just because you're not getting those accolades or not getting them yet, right? Doesn't mean that the work that you've done in this mode or in this time is not important. In fact, this is the most important work. That's the message. I'm like, I don't want to choose favorites, right? But I could already tell that between this one and that purple one, it's going to be one hell of a season. All right, so this is an oracle, the Akashic Truth Oracle deck. Let's pull some messages from here. A fresh start at the bottom. I don't know why there's comfort here with this. Like this, even shuffling this deck, it feels very like, it's not stiff, which usually the new cards feel like they have like a stiff feeling to them. This deck it's giving me comfort. I don't know why. Someone could finally be comfortable starting something, having a fresh start, but sometimes the fresh starts are uncomfortable to experience, right? Because it's brand new, energy and shit. But I think someone is like, this is comfortable for them. It feels right. Release. You're being asked to release any toxic people or situations from your life. I feel like I read that sentence and somebody's like, this is like the 9th time I'm hearing this. It says you deserve to be free from all the drama, and this is the first step towards achieving that release. And then I got 2 cards. Consider the options. You've narrowed your focus to one desired outcome, and you might be missing a bigger opportunity. Open up and let the universe send you the highest possible result. Consider your options and see it through. You don't always finish what you start, and then you talk badly to yourself because of it. Break the karmic pattern by seeing a project through to the end, and then be proud of what you've accomplished. I don't know why, but this feels small to me. Not the accomplishment itself, but I feel like whatever it is, you can start small. I think that's why they're showing me something small. It's like you can start something very small. Like if you're not in the business or used to finishing certain things off, don't start off with something really big to finish. Don't start off with like a really big project. Or like if you're going to fast, right? Perfect example. If you're going to fast and you've never fasted before, or every time you've tried, you failed at it, according to yourself. Instead of doing a fucking 3-week fast, do a 2-day fast. Do a 4-day fast. Meditating. If you feel like you always fail and you never get to, you don't know how to do meditating, right? People tell me that shit all the time. But either way, the point is, if you feel like you can't do it or you've not been able to do it up until this point, then start small with whatever it is that you're trying to do. You're trying to start a diet, but you always feel like, oh, I can't, blah, blah, blah. Do it for, there's 7 days in the week, do it for 2 days. Or only do it in the morning for the 5 days instead of doing it all day. Like start really small with something. I don't know why they keep telling me that. Start really small and know that you have options. It says consider the options, but know that you have the options. It does, you don't, if you're going to start a fast, you don't have to do the fast by the book, the way it says to do it on Google, or the way the YouTuber did it that you watch. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. Like you can do it your way and start implementing things. It feels like start doing it at like a really minuscule level. And as you start to like take those baby steps, you're going to notice eventually that those baby steps are now something that you're implementing in your day-to-day, or something that you are actually doing. Because somebody what they're doing is they're showing me someone who's like really proud of themselves, but it's like after the fact. Like I didn't realize this was going to affect me this much, but because I didn't realize it, because when I started it, it was really small. Like it was something really small. For some of you, this is like some type of a business too, because it's like I did this and I was only intending, like with me with this YouTube, I wasn't intending for anybody to ever really be watching me. And here I am, like 2,000 people in, you know what I'm saying? So there's a feeling here of that. It's a sense of like pride, but there has to be the awareness of something that you did, something that you started, something that you tried. Even if you just do it small first. Do it small. Start small. Something doesn't have to be big. All right. And what's the vibe? This is the last deck. If anybody who's catching me now, I already said we're going to be live again tonight for the late night crew. We're just going to be doing this, pulling cards, peeping the vibes, and tapping in. Like I said, I've been off for the last few days, so we got to get back in motion. going to pull 3 cards from this one and literally see what the vibe is. Established. Laughter and isolation. Settled, secure, wealthy, happiness, joy, healing, rejected, left alone, and self-inflicted. This almost feels like someone's punishing themselves. I don't know that that was something that was intended, though. That's interesting. It comes off as like, it's almost like something took my laughter, something took my joy, something took my happiness, something, right? Loss of a job, loss of a family member, loss of a loved one, a breakup, whatever, right? Bad news. Something took my happiness, but instead of establishing, instead of something remaining, something was taken. And I think that what's being taken now, it's almost like someone made you sad, and instead of you doing what you needed to do to continue to make yourself thrive and happy throughout that process, it's almost like whenever something was taken from you, you kind of just laid there and said, well, I'm empty now. Because now, no, so that now you don't have anything else to take from me. But someone's depriving themselves of happiness. Because this rejected energy, this isolation, it's self-inflicted. It says it on the card. I know I said 3 cards, but I'll be saying a lot of shit, apparently. Recharge. Breathe, let go, clear your mind, and healing. Wow. One more card. Possibilities. This doesn't have to be the case. This doesn't have to be the case. This is literally what I'm hearing. Establish laughter and isolation. It's literally someone who's settled. Someone who's settled. Someone who has allowed the space for something or someone to remove their happiness, to remove their joy, to take someone off of their healing journey. We literally have healing twice back to back. But I feel like someone may have taken it or tugged on it, and you kind of just like let it go. Like you didn't fight for it. You didn't put up a fight for it. And it's sad. It's sad to see that play out, but it's also promising because recharge, healing, and possibilities. This is someone who's just now learning or just now understanding that things don't have to be this way. Just because that relationship didn't work out doesn't mean you have to be alone forever. Just because that person was trifling doesn't mean every person is going to be trifling. Just because your parents were pieces of shit don't mean that moving forward you can't trust anyone or anything. Like, just because doesn't determine the rest of your life. It shouldn't. Just because something happened shouldn't determine the rest of your journey. Someone needs to start looking at it from a different perspective. Because this happened, this is why I do this. Because this happened, this is why I'm forever grateful for that. Because this happened, but didn't cause this to happen, or because this happened and didn't allow this. Like, this happened, I felt like I was by myself, but I didn't die. It didn't kill me. I got up every day. God still gave me breath every day. I lost my job, but like I was able to sustain. I still was able to feed my family. I was barely just barely making it, but like I still was able. I think that may be part of the message, because somebody's like, I was still able to do something, and I found a lot of grace in that. Like just the fact that I'm still able to pursue, I'm still able to push forward. Collective. I love you guys wholeheartedly. I love you guys wholeheartedly. If anything resonated here, please do not hesitate to hit that like button. We've been out of commission for a few days. Y'all hear the cats spazzing out? We've been out of commission for a few days, but we back. And like I said before, we will be live again tonight. I'm probably going to be inside. I ain't even going to hold you because it is getting colder. And I don't want to get sicker. So either way, we will be live again tonight for the late night crew. I'm going to post a link and maybe like by like 8 p.m. be on the lookout because the link will be up. I don't know if we're going to do like 10, 11, like that. I love you guys. I apologize for not showing up. It's unacceptable. But we back. Even though your girl's still a little bit sick, but like we're going to push through. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, especially those of you who are at work. Be very careful with traveling, and I will see you guys all tonight. Si Dios quiere.